Good afternoon, Flosstube. It's Lori of Mischievous Stitches. I want to welcome everyone to my channel today. I'm very glad that you stopped by for a visit. Why? Because I have lots to share. I have cross stitch, I have haul, I have whips, I have stories from Barefoot Needlearts retreat. So grab yourself a drink, sit down at the table, and let's chat. I just got home from the Barefoot Needlearts retreat, and I had an amazing time. I went in, when I'm in a group, you can see I'm talking real fast. Let me calm myself down a little bit. I am naturally a chatty person when I know you. I'm a little shy until I do. I think a lot of us is like that. I made my mind up that I was not going to gravitate towards the people I knew that sit at a table of people that I wanted to get to know, and I did that this year. A couple of my table mates I had attended retreats to before, but it was larger retreats, so I didn't get a chance to actually meet them. I sat with Melody, Jean, Miss Linda, and Kylie. I had an amazing time. Kylie and I were side by side, and we just hit it off within just the first few minutes, and we chatted the whole weekend. Got plans in the future. She's not too far away. She's just in North Carolina. I'm in South Carolina, so I'm sure there's going to be meetups because we just hit it off that well, and that was wonderful. A lot of the local stitchers to me that I've attended retreats before that live in the surrounding areas, they were also there. I got to spend time with them. I met new people, new floss tubers. I just had an amazing time, and a long weekend of retreat is just not enough. I'm ready to go back. I want to go back now. But we arrived on Thursday. There was a meet and greet that evening, Thursday night, for the retreat attendees at the shop, Barefoot Needlearts. And Barefoot Needlearts, if I didn't say, is here in South Carolina, and it's very near. It's in North Myrtle Beach, or I think it's considered Surfside Beach. But it's here on the coast of South Carolina. They did an amazing job. They're very communicative through the whole process. You know what to expect. It's still a laid-back retreat. You kind of have an itinerary, but they tell you what time certain things are going to happen. But you can pretty much come and go as you please. So I did miss out on the meet and greet because my husband decided he wanted to go along with, which he does a lot of times now, and I'm happy to have him join me. But I had to wait for him to get off work. I had taken the whole day off work, and then when he got off work, I had everything packed up, ready to go. So he jumped in from his truck into my car, and we took off. We got there about 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, settled in for the night. I saw a few stitchers in the lobby when I got there because there's a restaurant there too. I didn't speak to anyone because, again, I'm kind of shy at first. Once I get to know you, I'm just full throttle, but until I get to know you, I'm a little shy. So first thing Friday morning, I get up, I get dressed, my husband and I grab breakfast, and we're there in the hotel, and there's a line. The stitch room, I think, was to open up at 9 on Friday. And there's a line, and it's like 8 o'clock. Stitchers are already lining up. We couldn't get into the room, but they were lining up with their stitch bags. So there was just a line of stitch bags, and there were stitchers, milling around everywhere. But it just amazed me that everyone's lining up already. Everyone was just as excited as me. That was what that was about. When they opened the gates, everybody rushed at the same time. It's like hens out of the hen house. You just open that door and they all come at one time. We were opposite. We were headed in. Sat down, find your spot, plant your bags, and get started. Just an amazing time. Just an amazing time. So many things I'm going to get to right now. We did a lot of fun things. There was a raffle for some things that were donated and things, some gift baskets, gift cards, that kind of thing. And I know a lot of this is done at mini retreats. A lot of you may be familiar, some will not. But we did a raffle, and all the proceeds from the raffle went to a local charity. There was a lot of money raised for that, and I was so happy when they gave the total, but you know, that went right out of my mind. But they did very well for the charities. We also had a Smalls Exchange. We played bingo for prizes as well. And then we had the, I forget what they call it, the Stitchy Fairy, I think, that periodically through the weekend, you would get up and you'd come back and there'd be a little gift on your spot on the table, or if you happen to be there when they come through, you get a little gift. So I'm going to share those. Then you have your table mates giving you gifts. I will say, I'm kind of scattered, so just, I hope you can follow what I'm talking about. I'm just still so excited. I'm on a high. I'm on a retreat high. What I took with me this time is so many of us, I didn't want to take stitchy items. Next year, I think I'm going to change my mind. I'm gonna up my table mate gift. But I brought what I call Halloween crack, and it's just candy corn and lightly salted peanuts mixed together. When you eat them, it tastes like a payday candy bar. So I did little seasonal fall Ziploc bags and I had a bag full of them. And in my mind, for some reason, I was thinking there was 35 women there. No, there were 80. I didn't have enough baggies. I had enough for my table, but I tried to pass them out where I could if someone walked up or that kind of thing. But that was my stitchy gift. But I want to share some of the ones that I did get from the others. So again, this is one of my table mates, Jean. We got Peeps and just some little candies and some tissues because, you know, some of those rooms when you stitch can be cold. I took a jacket both days. No, I took a long sleeve shirt the first day and I was hot. And the next couple of days I wore this jacket here. And on Saturday I wore my Barefoot Needlearts shirt. Didn't mean to flash you there, but I wanted you to just see my shirt. But Miss Jean gave us those. But anyway, those tissues were ingenious. I've never gotten those at a retreat, but I see the necessity of them because, like I said, sometimes they're really cold and you need those tissues. What else did I get? Here's what's left of my crack. I think I have one bag. And see, it was just a small bag with some, what I call Halloween crack. I make it for work, and they love it here. Had a couple of people that made floss tags. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right, floss tags. And there was a lady that went through, and she has, let me see what's on here. I don't want to give out too much of her information. So I'll put my finger over her name, but she gave out little like business cards, but it has like her Instagram name and her name and genius. This was something new for me. And then there were other bags. This bag has some counting pens in it. This was from Miss Linda, a pencil, and a little hedgehog wooden blank. And then this one was from Melody. Again, some little candies, and there was something else. Let me look. Hold on just a second. Take my glasses off and then I can't see. It's a little pen, a little needle minder that's a pumpkin, which is so cool. Some Halloween scissors and this sweet little bag that it's in. Perfect little table mate gifts. And then again, this is from Jean, and you can see some of my raffle tickets. I was going to use those to put in my end of day book. I like to take things from retreats and business cards from the shops I visit and put them in there so I'll know what I've done through the year. So I kept some of those to put in there to decorate that. And then again, a Floss Fairy gift. Not Floss Fairy, Stitchy Fairy gift. Just snacks. So they're just snacks, and they're here. And is there more? And so I'm going to jump into the Floss Fairy gifts. So we got a needle. My mind is going 90 miles an hour, and my mouth is only going 60. This is a scissors fob, which will go perfect on a pair of scissors because you see the pumpkin there that Melody gave us. There was another minder, and I'm going to take it off. It's on my current one of my current whips, and this can also come from the Stitchy Fairy, and it's a needle minder, and it's a leaf for the changing of the seasons, which is really cool. And then we got some Stitchers lotion. I've had this in the past. It's not supposed to leave a residue on your hands, so you don't have to worry about using this on your hands and then stitching and it getting in your threads or your fabric. And then we got a needle keep, the needle keeper, and here's the information about that if you're interested. It does say it is it's a handy needle keeper, has an aluminum body with a cozy plastic coated interior to help keep your needles in a safe place. I'll put that there so you can see the information if you're interested. And that's it for that. So I had those few little Stitchy Fairy gifts. And then we played bingo, and the bingo was all about designer names. You can see I come really close. I didn't win anything. You could purchase a couple extra ones, and that money also went to charity. And I got down to one. Who was it that was left? Silver Creek Samplers. But I did really good, but I still didn't win because it was a blackout. We did blackout bingo, and this went on for a couple of days. So they call out several names. You check them off of your cards, and they keep track of it on a whiteboard in the room so that if you happen to be out of the room when they called some of the names, that you could always go back and add them, check off what you've gotten. And then there's a Stitcher's journal they gave us as well, so you can keep track of any projects you buy, the work you've done on it, just any information. I've had these at other retreats as well. These are really handy, so you can journal your stitching. And then let's get into my haul. So Barefoot Needlearts is a few miles away. I don't know exactly how many from the retreat venue. And I visited with a couple of other ladies on Saturday. There were a couple of things that were offered for sale in the retreat room on both Saturday and Sunday. And what I purchased from those sales was a couple of project bags. And 'tis the season. I bought pumpkins. I love pumpkins. And I've made these envelope pouches. I love these best. When I compare them to the vinyl fronted bags and the zipper pouches. Zippers just because I don't find those easy for myself to sew, and vinyl because I prefer just the fabric. But anyway, 'tis the season. I got pumpkins, and again, it's October, so I picked up one that is breast cancer awareness. And I brought everything with me in my Barefoot Needlearts bag. I bought this on my first trip to Barefoot Needlearts, and I've had it to the side waiting to go back to visit and attend a retreat. So this was packed. You can see it's wrinkled. My hair bow attached to it. So, you know, when I get focused stitching, I just pull my hair up. And I've got a bag full to share with you of stash for my trip Saturday. So let me share with you that. They have, the girls at the table, especially Jean, just raved about pony needles, which they have. They were new to me. They have them at Barefoot Needlearts. They've advertised them on their shop page recently, and I ordered ordered a combination pack that has different size needles in it. And I got those when I arrived at the retreat, but when I went back Saturday, I bought some others because the shaft of the needle and the eye are both black on those. And so I got some of these. And again, a combo pack of 24 and 26. And the other pack that I purchased was 24, 26, and 28s. And so the eye of the needle on these coordinate with the size of the needle, which I think is really good to help me keep up with them when I'm stitching with them. I stitched with one a little bit, but I pulled out the black ones because I had these up in the room. And I think I was using the 26, the larger of the two. I always get confused about my needle sizes. I know by feel, but not by number. Isn't that awful? I need to put that to memory. But anyway, I switched back to my Bowens. Bowens are usually my go-to. They feel like butter when they're going through the fabric and it's a new needle. It just glides. These are kind of like that too. So in my current projects, maybe something I'm going to start here soon, I'll switch over to these. But let's get to the patterns. So they had a trunk show from JBW Designs, and I purchased a couple of her patterns because I love her stuff. And this is Stitching in the Round. And I changed up the colors a little bit. Hers were a little more like powdery pinky, as you can see here, a little more muted. So I did a little bit, chose a couple of colors, was a little more bright pinks. So I picked Ladybug and then DMC 3713. What she calls for hers are Cherry Tomato Classic Colorworks and DMC, oh, the same DMC. I just changed this color. So that was one. And then I picked up this one as well. And this is Hannah's Bluebird Sampler. And it was, I saw the model on both of these. All the ones I bought of JBW, I was able to see the models. So I picked out pulled the threads, and there they are. Aren't they beautiful? And this is the sweet little sampler. And it is small. When you finish it up, it shows, hold on just a second. On 36 count is 5.3 by 5.27 inches high. And on 32 it's 6 inches wide by 5.9 inches high. So basically 6 by 6. You can see that information there. Sweet little sampler. I read up about it, and these letters here, they believe that it's possible based on another sampler that they researched while researching this one, that it references a Bible verse, but they don't know which one. So I was thinking that I may omit that spot and just pull it up a little bit so the top will just be the bands without the letters. Or maybe I'll change the letters and put the date like that. I'm not sure till I get ready to sit down and try it, but I do want to somehow change up those letters. And then I bought this piece, and after reading the covers on both of these, I realized that this piece, hold on, I'm trying not to dump all my threads out. I have my threads caught in with the pattern. And I know a lot of you have seen this one. I've been on the wavering about getting it, and I'm so glad I finally have. This is Bluebirds of Happiness. And again, here's the color. I'm still throwing my threads around, excuse me. And I bought a piece of fabric for it too. But back to this. This pattern is based off of this one. So this was an antique reproduction here. But this one, she pulled motifs and the coloration inspired this one. So that was pretty cool to learn that. And so I bought it, you know, I didn't realize that till after I bought it. I didn't buy them because of that. And the fabric that I chose for it is this one. Again, my glasses. I need to just leave them on. This is Sandy Toes. So this is a Barefoot Needlearts piece. And back to this Bluebird of Happiness. Here are the colors against this fabric. And I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Awesome, awesome. And then we did have a retreat exclusive, and it is by the Blue Flower, and it's Autumn Beach postcards. And if you follow me on Instagram, I posted earlier some photos of the retreat, and in the retreat you can see these actual models, and they're actually in the shape and size of a postcard, and they tell you how to finish them up, but they're in one of the pictures if you want to see them closer. So I picked up a piece of fabric there. I did not pick up, it calls for 40 count stone washed, and I picked up a piece of Under the Sea Fabrics by Leslie, who is a friend, and I love her, but I don't know how to say that. Ashera. And I love this piece. It has a little more color than what you can see, but it's like when I say dirty, it's a dingy looking fabric. I wish you could see it better than it's coming out. But this is what I wanted. So there are colorations in here. Like here you can see some blue-green. And I think it's going to play really well with these, because here is a sunset, as you can see, or it could be a sunrise. And this is a little girl flying a kite at the beach. And I just wanted something, and this was perfect for what I had pictured in my mind, how I wanted these to look when I stitched them. So I got that. And just a couple more things I picked up. I'm going to have a mess on the table when I'm done. This is one of the Nurge, I think I'm saying that right. Nurge frames. Never stitched one with one before. This is an 8-inch. I think it comes in a 10-inch. I was looking them up online so I could learn more. But the table behind us, 2 of the ladies were using these, the ones that were closest to me. And I questioned them on it, and they said they find it easier to use these. They still love their Q-snaps, but they find it easier to use these Nurge hoops because they're slender. They still hold the fabric taut, but they're slender, and it's easier here on their thumb and their, basically the joint here in their thumb, because they have arthritis. And I know I'm starting to feel some tenderness in there too. And I thought, well, let me give it a try. I'll buy one. They do have different sizes. All of this stuff you can find at Barefoot Needlearts, and they can help you. They have a website. I'll list it below, list and link it. But I'm going to give it a try. So I haven't used it yet, so I don't have a review of that. But for those of you that have been interested in them like me, or seen them and didn't know much about them, I'll let you know later. But this was a purchase after speaking with other stitchers, which there's always something on the table that you want to get. And one of the things Miss Jean at my table had was a tower. I've seen them before. My friend Pam has one as well. But she put it in the center of the table. She had a drop cord, put the tower in the center of the table, and we were all plugged into it with our lights. Perfect, perfect. So you get one and you just kind of share it, and everyone locks into it, so there's not cords. Well, there's cords coming from the tower to you, but I mean, under the table, the tripping hazards are minimized because of that tower. And the last project pattern that I purchased was from Dirty Annie's, and I just thought this was hilarious. And it's called Tell Me I'm Pretty. And it says, feed me and tell me I'm pretty. So this is so simplistic, the stitching, it's fun. I find it funny, and it would make the best project bag. So that's probably what I'll do with that at some point when I stitch it. We also had a freebie table. So anyone that had patterns that they're no longer interested in, or things that they feel that's outdated, or things they've already stitched, there were buckets of freebies. So I picked up just a few, and I thought I'd share those with you too. So this is Merry Christmas ABC. It's one of those, I think they're called Treasure something books. And they're from Leisure Arts. I have a few of these. I haven't actually checked to make sure that I didn't have them, but I already know a stitcher I can pass it on to, Melody. If I do have it, I'll just reach out to her and send it. But there's one in here I really liked, and I picked it up because I love Santa. I love that jolly fat man in a red suit. But for me here, this is the holly and everything behind it. It really makes Santa's face pop, and I really like this. So you can see I've marked it. And this is a Just Cross Stitch magazine. It's from, actually it says display until this year. So it's this year's Just Cross Stitch. I guess they didn't like it. And I like this here. This is my favorite time of year. I'm an October baby. I do not like the cold. I like the cool. I like the crispness of the air right now. South Carolina, we have the majority of our years heat. I like the heat, but I don't like the absence of any heat. So winter is just not for me, but fall, it's warm in the day. It's cool and breezy at night. I love it. I love everything about it. And I don't know about everywhere else, but here the trees are starting to change. And it's early for us. I know it's October, but it's early for here. So I'm curious whether those of you that are up in North Carolina and Tennessee, are your leaves already changing? Doesn't it seem a little early for you guys, if it is? Because I know it's early here. But anyway, I welcome it. Favorite time of the year, and I really love this. And this is a Stony Creek collection, and it's all patriotic Americana. But my son Jacob, he's been in the Air Force for 6 years. Those of you that's been watching me for a long time, can you believe it? I certainly can't. He will be getting out on the 17th, so just a few days from now, and he will be coming home. So we look for him the last week of the month. They're going to pack him up on the 22nd. They're shipping his car. His girlfriend's they're coming in her car, but they're going to come leisurely because he is in Montana, and so they're going to drive home leisurely and just spend some time, you know, being a tourist and checking out all the beauty that our United States has to see. So I am looking forward to him getting home, but I'm excited that he's going to get to see so many other states. But anyway, back to this. I got it so that I could stitch this piece for him, Air Force, because that is his branch. And then I picked up this Carriage House Samplings. Real simple design for Christmas, and it says Merry Christmas to my friend. It'll be very easy to stitch this up for a friend for Christmas, and I will probably use this year. This is a scrap buster kind of pattern that you can just use whatever you have on hand, use whatever threads you have, change the colors up from what she has. Perfect stash buster. Now, what did I stitch while I was there? Barely anything. I'm just going to be honest. I pulled out this piece, and I'm pretty sure I shared it with you guys. This is Tiny Modernist. This is Crab Dance. And on the way on Thursday, when we got to the room, when Clint and I arrived at the hotel on Thursday night, before bed, I put in some, I call them anchor stitches. So I put some stitches down so I would be able to count off what I knew was placed correctly. Because I know me, I'm not focused when I'm stitching at a retreat. I'm gabbing, I'm chatting, I'm cutting up, and I'm not focused, and that's where I make mistakes. So I try to keep my projects this time small. And as I said, I put some anchor stitches down just so I would know. So I just worked these blocks around the corner. When I got home, I had this orange flower, and I think that was it. No, the start of this, I think this is a seashell, this blue. Only, not even half of that, and that was it. So when I got home, I picked it up, and in one night, I got this much complete. But during the whole retreat, all I got was 3 sides of the block, these 2 flowers, and part of that shell, and that was it. That's hilarious to me. This was all done last night. So hopefully tonight I'll have finished this up, and when I video again, you'll see a finished piece. I also put some stitches. Uh-oh, I think I might have lost my needle there. Nope, that's just a random thread. We're good. I also but worked on this piece. And this is our stitch along piece. This is October 31st by Cottage Garden Samplings. And several women were stitching this and is joining the stitch along that were at the retreat. And I'm so glad that they did. This piece I worked on there and got very little done. So I started here at home and did one of the tendrils or vines off of it. And when I got to the retreat, I had to pull out one of the vine because I did it in the wrong color. I restitched these two vines. I stitched these vines and started on that star, and that's as far as I've gotten. So once my crab dance is finished, I'm going to work more on this. I'm trying to leisurely stitch this piece because we're all stitching it as a group. I've seen several of you put your pictures, your update pictures of this in Instagram, so thank you for that. And if you didn't know, the Instagram hashtag for this is OCT31SAL. And so I'm going to work more. I'm trying to do maybe a thread every evening just to show the progress, but that way I'm not jumping so far ahead. I want others to be able to stitch and catch along because some of the stitchers waited till this past weekend at retreat to start, and I don't want to get so far ahead of those that's stitching along with me. Just know if you're interested in joining us stitching this, Barefoot Needlearts is still offering this at a discount, 20% off of the pattern and the threads for this piece. You can just contact them. There's actually a link within their webpage for this. It'll say MischievousStitches OCT 31 Stitch Along. And again, if you're stitching along on it, I would love to see your progress. Use the hashtag and tag me in it. Okay, what else do I have here? Oh, I messed up. I didn't share with you. Let me pull the retreat piece back out because I did not share with you the threads. I have them here, so little note from the shop. But here are the threads. And again, here's my fabric. And here is the piece. So the piece wasn't revealed. We knew we had a retreat exclusive, but we didn't know what it was going to be until we got to the retreat. But they did offer thread packs prior to the retreat that you could tell them whether you wanted DMCs, you wanted fancy floss, or none. So I opted for the fancy floss pack. And again, there's my pack of threads. And then we did the smalls exchange. I don't normally do that. I become attached to my pieces when I stitch them. Meaning when I stitch them, it's not easy for me to give them away. For those of you that stitch really big things and give them away, kudos, because I just can't do it. The first few years that I stitched, when I would stitch things, give them away, share them, that kind of thing, I would not see the appreciation to those that their gifts were received. And it made me unwilling to do that unless the person I was gifting it to, like I still stitched for my children. I've stitched for my closest friends, but any people outside of my circle, I don't normally stitch with. I want to break out of that mold. I enjoy my stitching, but I need to face it. I've got a bin under the bed of things that I've stitched that I don't have framed, I don't have fully finished, and so I don't need to collect it. I need to share the beauty of the work that I'm doing and the love I'm putting into it. So if you've been following me for a little bit, I'm going to share with you not only what I got, but what I stitched. So I started about a month ago. It's a little wooden blank kit that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. And I finished it up and I loved it and I thought it was beautiful. And then in my mind was forming an idea of how I wanted to finish it. And I wasn't sure if I could bring that to fruition. So then I decided I want to stitch one. Anyway, I ended up stitching a second one, and that was my smalls exchange, but I want to share with you what I did. So I decided these wooden beads, just strings of wooden beads with a tassel on the end, have become really popular. I keep seeing them at Hobby Lobby, in their displays, and some of the pictures that you all are sharing on Instagram. And I wanted to mimic that using my blank. So I attached with jute a string of beads. I bought plain wooden beads. I chose paint colors that were shades of colors that was in the piece that I stitched. And I strung them and made one of those beaded chain, beaded jute links of beads. So I'm going to share it with you right now. Again, I still struggle with finishing. I do the best. And if I was not satisfied with it, believe me, I would not have passed it on. But I did one for a stitcher as a gift, and I did the one that I practice on is mine. So here it is. I'm working it up, so this is it. So the kit come from Hobby Lobby. It come with the threads, the needle threader, and this wooden blank. And it had a hole there, and at first I was like, scissors fob, and no, that's too big for a scissors fob. And then this is what come into my mind. So I did have jute, and I had to go back to Hobby Lobby and buy jute that was a little less, it was thinner in circumference so that I can get it through here. I bought large-eyed tapestry needles. They don't work for jute. So I hand threaded this jute through and had to look up some knots. I found a knot that would work here. And then I made a tassel with the jute on the end. The colored beads, when I bought them, they're all like this, just unfinished wood. And I chose colors that was in the piece to color some of the beads. And honestly, I absolutely love it. I love it. And then I cut out a piece of felt, and using double-sided tape, I just covered the back of my finished piece. I hope y'all love it as much as I do, because now I wish there was something else that I could have that was similar. I went back to Hobby Lobby thinking maybe they have others so that I can have multiple of these. And I've been keeping this in my car on my dash, and I'm going to put it back there after this video. But they had a flag that I've shared that has the pre-drilled hole on both sides of the flag, the American flag. And there's one about wandering, about traveling, which might go good in my car too. But I didn't care for it as much. And the others are not wooden blanks. They do have small kits, but they're not blanks. But anyway, there's this. I talked a lot about mine, but I want to share with you what I got. And it come in this little seasonal bag with a little bag of candy corn. I know a lot of people don't like candy corn, but I do, with peanuts. But Sweet Sue stitched this piece. And this is a hands-on design, and I think it's her seasonal, or maybe it's year in chalk, and this is October. Oop, my bow's a little bit crooked. And she changed the colors up. And I love what she did right here, where she took the word candy and changed the colors to mimic candy corn. And she did the pumpkins here in an overdyed. I just love it. So I've kept it right here. Another good thing about this piece is it's an easel finish, and there's a side that has nothing on it, and it's white. And I could use this for either Thanksgiving or Christmas and just flip it. I think she said she got these at Hobby Lobby. And someone else chimed in that you can find these easels at Walmart too. I've not ever finished on one of them. This piece that she has done is on a piece of perforated paper, which I'm enjoying working on those type things right now. But I'm loving this. Sue, you did a great job. Thank you so much. I love this. And I especially love her changes. So I'm going to keep it right here through the season so everyone can see it. And I think that's it for now. I've shared with you from the freebie table, my haul, my Stitchy Fairy gifts. I think that's everything. I see there was a lot of other retreats going on this past weekend too. Was it Steel City? Queen City Stitchers got together a retreat. I hope everyone had as much fun as I did. I'm sure that they did. I look forward to getting to more retreats this coming year. Through COVID, I was in the Sampler Guild. I let my registration lapse. I just wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't getting together with the local stitchers. Sometimes we would do a Zoom meeting, which is not the same. So I am really enjoying getting together with stitchers again, and I'm really looking forward to my next retreat. Let me know if you attended a retreat this weekend or you're attending one coming up soon. I'd love to hear about yours as well, or if you're have a Flosstube, you put up a video of your retreat talking about it. I'd love to hear all about it because excitement and passion for our craft is contagious, and I want to feed off of that. So share your information below. And again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I met 2 other floss tubers, Beth of Red Cross Stitcher and Kylie of So What Stitcher. I'm going to list their information below, as well as Barefoot Needlearts, their shop and their information on Instagram, so you can link into those and see the other photos from other stitchers if you'd like, as well as the hashtag for the retreat. All the things, all the things. Everyone have a great weekend. And until next time for a regularly scheduled video, hugs and stitches. Bye-bye.